Good evenings, everyone. Thank you for popping by. We are filling the spot for Rasta and Nannybot again. Rasta's not come back to the UK yet, and Nannybot's got work on, so we've offered to step in for the night. I haven't had a shave. Sorry. So we've got a couple of new things. Hi Van, hi Tomo. Hello, the big bearded beast. Couple of new things that I know someone's going to be very interested in if he's about somewhere. He should not be hiding on Facebook or wherever it is. Mr. Ryan should be coming to the chat. Hello, Doom Fairies. Let's just check everything's flowing okay. Close all this. Hello everyone out there. Hi Clive. Hi Ulfric. Yeah, as everyone's about. So I've got a bit of a box opening to do that we can do tonight as well. Yes, the goblins look amazing. Do I have? I'm going to attempt something. Charity stream. Cool. So we go for new releases. If I click on that, this should work. Technology, don't fail me now. Nope. You know what? Technology failed me. I do have automatic done. Don't know why it's not picking it up. Because it's not in the gallery. Let's see if I can change it on the settings. Got it. Sort of got it. That's right, because it's gone small again. So, the thing that Van is on about is a game that we've been playing around with. Who invited Martin again? I'll get you back. Don't you worry. They're goblins. They're goblin enough for me. So this is the new mythos. The gang, they just sound like gypsies with some gremlin goblins. So these are the next set out. We've just started taking pre-orders on the website. Let me shrink that down a bit so I can actually see it. They do look... Oop, that's the backs of them. They do look fantastic. The evil travelling circus. Yeah, not far off. So the Adani Travellers. So yeah, I think they're... I was hoping for werewolfy type ones with them being travellers, gypsies and stuff like that. You normally get werewolves and that sort of stuff. So they are, I think, about a month away. A little bit more. The Silver Venettas are in stock now and selling quite quickly. Yeah, I was thinking more outside the box of other games out there that tend to be where you've got travellers and gypsies and stuff like that. They're always either hunting werewolves or well, no, they're vampires. Yeah. So they do look nice. Where's Discord? I'll quickly turn that one off. For any of you that haven't seen it, see if I can do the super duper changing of channels. Discord OBS, select New releases Discord. No, I can't get. The UK group one. I'll send it over in a bit. I'm hoping. Oh yeah, that'll work. Unless Paul or someone's in. So what we do have is we've got a charity event on September the 25th. Some madman is going to be streaming for 24 hours without the aid of a safety net. But yeah, we're going to be streaming, painting, chatting and stuff like that all during a Friday evening all through Saturday morning all the way up to Saturday night again. And then I'm going to sleep for a week. So far we've had some amazing donations. So if I bring this up, the first one was Cromlech have sent us some, basically their plaques, and underneath the piece of paper, the sticker is a code, and that code is a €15 code, but they're a nice plaque as well, and they've laser cut them all for us. Really nice of them. So the next one is from James at Something for the Geek End. 2 signed autograph cards from Attack of the Clones. So they're, and a load of other cards as well. We've got loads of bits and pieces like the cards. Now these are actual signed. They're not printed or anything like that. They are actually signed. So they're pretty good. And then D20 Board Game Cafe sent us Dice Academy and Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. And I think they said they were going to call past and see us on the stream, or pop in and see us on the stream as well. Our great Mr. Foxy has donated a couple of sealed games, some wrestling game, and then a hack trick. Hack trick looks very... Well, you can see me in it, look. Very Netrunner-ish. It looked quite cool. Cosmos have given us Mikado, which is quite a bit. It's a huge game box. So we've got one of them to give away on the stream. Warlord Games knocked the ball out of the park, sort of thing. So they gave us Beyond the Gates of Antares starter set, Soviet Army starter set, Conflict 47 starter set, Dad's Army Home Guard Platoon for bolt action, and Hail Caesar. I can't remember which cavalry they were. Does it say on it? Macedonian. Or Macadamium. The Macadamium cavalry. But on top of that, turning that off. Today we took a delivery of a new game. Watch everyone go running for cover. We have just taken... I'm looking for the gift ones. I think they've fallen down somewhere. Yep. So, and I can quite happily blame Van for this one. It's all Van. So we have a game. It is called Twisted. It is green, so it's not showing up very well. Now this is the starter box. As you can see, it is thin, but it is huge. It's got some heft to it. I'm going to be opening this in a minute, but I need to wait for Foxy, because this has been Foxy's little pet project. We started off talking to them about doing the stream, so they've given us stuff to paint and give away on the stream. just our normal stream. So we've got a couple of the starter sets that me and Foxy are going to paint up, and then we've got a handful of figures. I'll switch to the overhead cam so we can actually see some of the stuff. So all of these figures revolve around... Oh, it's very steampunk. So that's the flyer that you get. It gives the clue away that there's steampunkiness. I think you're good, even just for the miniatures, Catherine. This could be the miniature range that pushes you to actually paint more. Thank you, hello Egan, and thank you Jack for the sub. Well, yeah. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, well, I got lucky because they've sent me Guild of Harmony, so I'm going with Guild of Harmony. I can't remember. Foxy got the other one. We are stocking it though, Van. As long as with this, there's $1,000 worth of stock landed with it all. So we've got a huge stock range and probably more. Really liking the look of it. I got some of the collector's pieces as well, and they look absolutely fantastic. So we've got Servants of the Engine, the Dickensians, Signs of the Sand, and the Guild of Harmony. So it's the engine sees, the engine knows, the engine controls, fight for the power of the engine. A steampunk skirmish game. Yes, the Signs of the Sand do look cool. The best way to describe it is old books and fables steampunked up and turned into a miniature, and then obviously a miniature skirmish game. Strategic card-based character activation system. Players quickly transfer from player to player each term as predetermined order of activation cards are revealed. Eye of the Engine, a deck of cards representing the influence of the engine that add an element of unpredictability, chaos and excitement to the action. Lots of game options for generating missions, assigning hidden tasks, deployment and terrain features to make each game unique. Narrative campaign, a 10-mission storyline to more fully immerse you into the twisted world. I was just reading the fluff before we get into the good stuff. But yeah, it is very... what is Twisted? Twisted is a detailed and immersive skirmish game set in an alternate Victorian steampunk world where the mysteries of alchemy are known to a powerful few, and the battles with strange and advanced weaponry are more often than not brutal and bloody. The rules include full details on the game along with character stories, backgrounds and information. Also included are missions that you will be able to play as either linked narrative campaign or a standalone encounter for single session play. So you can actually play it as a single player. Then each one of there is 4 factions. So you've got Servants of the Engine, defenders of the mysterious devices that control so much of the twisted world, but whether or not they can be considered the heroes is another matter entirely. The Dickensians, controlled by an evil psychopath, Bill Sykes. This group seeks to control the power of the engine for its own benefit. Though even within a group so bent on serving its own ends, there are those with more altruistic motives. And then Signs of the Sand. Howard Carter and his archaeological team have uncovered a node of the engine buried deep beneath the city of Comombo. Yeah. This has brought forth an avatar of ancient deities of the ancient deity set, and his influence has changed them and their local workers. They have now returned to London to seek further nodes and even greater power. The Guild of Harmony, this band of desperate folk, work to keep the opposing factions of Twisted London. Oh, it must be Twisted, yeah, Twisted London in check. They work to ensure no group has the upper hand, and that the balance they desire is maintained. Why did I go for the Guild of Harmony? Higher Archnin. Was it Archnin? Archnin? Morning, evening. Ah, there you go. Yep, sorry, couldn't see you in the... It's the purple, it doesn't show up on my screen very well. So they look really cool. I'll show you some of the pictures in close-up. So we have Servants of the Engine. Then we have the Dickensians. And Guild of Harmony. I might actually swap my Guild of Harmony. I'm not always one for keeping Harmony. Or Signs of the Sand, sorry. No, they literally turned up half an hour before the stream started. Foxy flew over to help me unpack and have a look through, and we've literally just got them. Probably tomorrow, mate. And the Guild of Harmony. So you've got Pigsty, Pigsy, and Monkey. These guys are in Australia, so it's took us 2 weeks to get the stuff over. But hang on. What's Jack hanging on for? Monkey. There's just no cloud yet. The pig is actually called Pigsty, Pigsy. Yes, there is mummies and Egyptian stuff. So I think a bit of a medium. So obviously this is the one that we chose. So you've got Alice and the White Rabbit. You've got Zara Croft with 2 guns. Yeah. Albert. Maria Poppet. Dorothy. Ackroyd. And Tinkerbell. Now, Ackroyd seems to be holding some sort of weird electrical gun contraption and some sort of trap. Yes. I remember why I picked these, because these were the cooler looking ones. So you've got Alice in Wonderland, Lara Croft, Albert. Is Albert from Mary Poppins? So Mary Poppins and Albert. Then Dorothy, obviously, and Ackroyd is definitely Ghostbusters and Tinkerbell. So there is 7 of these boxes so far, and they're just like a mini starter box. So there's Guild of Harmony only have set 1. All the others have set 1 and 2 at the moment. They're fairly rich because they're all metal as well. So they do 2 sets. So that was going to be a bad example. Let's have a metal one. So they do the metal figures, which are called the gaming or the gamers set, and then they have the collectors set, which the difference between the two, one's metal, one's resin. So yeah, so we're going to be painting. I've at least got that lot to be painting and getting on with. So you also get what other companies have been calling gubbins, so like a starter set. So the starter set, if Foxy is around, The starter set is huge. It's a huge box. That is bigger than my camera. Am I on the... Yeah, I'm on the big. So I'm going to open this up. So that's... let's have the box open. So if you can see it, the artwork on the box is lovely. Oh, I love the smell of new game. So there is a pair of play sheets which look like cheat sheets, which are pretty good. Yes, we've got Vinnie Jones either as part of the giveaway or part of the paint. I'm sure it was part of the paint. There you go, Vinny. So they're all, as you said, they're all parodies of something which are really, really good fun. So there's token set and flame token set. Token set with bits and pieces in. Wow. Foxy. It's a hardback rule book. I'll explain in a minute why that's a really lovely rule book. Hardback. Smells lovely as well. So rule book. You get 2 sets of dice, so there's various dicekers. So they are full dice set by the looks of it. D&D dice set. 26. Yeah, it's a full D&D dice set, and I'm presuming it's for 2 people. And then under, well, not under it, but the cards are full packs of the cards that I'm presuming we had described in the mini explanation. The spy rules. So the characters all have cards as well in the boxes. So now we got a good deal from the guys over at Demented for these for these core box, the Gubbins boxes. So we're actually going to pass the saving straight on as well. We're not going to just put them up for the normal price. They are 75 Australian dollars, which basically halves, so like 37 quid. We're going to do these. Hey, mostly. So you're sharing it with someone. The book, blame Dave. Yeah, no worries, mate. Did you see what was in it? Because obviously, I wanted you to be the one to see. I'll just have a quick drink as well. I'm definitely going to get on with painting in a second. So it is really lovely. Oh, there we go. So there's some more of the Twisted miniatures. So you've got Bill Sykes, Novaru, Nightingale, Gentlefolk, Flower Seller, the Urchin, Oliver. So you've got Oliver Twist and the Urchin. Twisted 100. So you get 150 page rulebook, 55 Eye of the Engine cards, 40 Alchematic Invocation cards, 20 Tarot of Taxing Task cards, 5 Pass and 4 Mission Character cards, 3 sheets of counters and templates, 2 quick reference play sheets, and 2 sets of dice. I'm not very good at reading these things, but I'll give them a go anyway. It's late 19th century, and the world has changed. This is an alternative reality, a world that might have been. One where the rules have been broken and things that should not be possible are now reality. This is the world of Twisted. Twisted is a decent... we've read that bit. That was the bit from... yeah, Explorer. Yeah. So, strategic, yeah. So, other than the first bit, that was what was on the other. So, yeah, we've actually sorted out stocking it. And we have got a small number, and if Foxy wants one, that number got smaller, of the starter boxes. So, we would suggest if people want them, find someone who's going to play them, or play with them, because technically there's enough for 2 people to be playing it. And we're going to start them off at £25 each. Plus a little bit, well, a reasonable amount of delivery or pickup. And then all you need is your figures. Foxy can remind me on how much the prices are for the figures. Hopefully. Let me have a quick look. There will be some discount, but we know roughly that the figures were 89 Australian dollars for a pack. But then we think that around about half that in pounds, and then maybe a little bit more discount. He says looking. There's a few places had them in, but they've stopped stocking them. Yeah. Can't remember. There was someone that had all the UK rough UK prices up, but we seem to have. They were really, really nicely priced as well. Right, here we go. I found it. So, for the... He says missing it altogether. So the figures are ranging around about, the cheapest being about £8.50. Some of the bigger figures £14, £15 each. Let's see if we can find a starter set. Dickensian's starter set is, he says looking and not finding, they're round about £50, £65, yeah, so they're £49.90, but we will be looking at sorting the starters out, and obviously to get people interested, and doing a package deal sort of thing. All of them. the starter sets. £49.99, £49.99, £49.99. The Twisted rule book at the moment in the UK is £40, so we're knocking £15 off for the first few. Or the rule book box, sorry. So yeah, they'll be going up on sale tomorrow. The other thing was going back to the charity so Twisted actually sent us some figures to give away. So we got Alice and White Rabbit, Bedtime and Library, we got a monkey, and we got Ariel. So we've got all of them to give away during the live stream, which we're getting more and more bits and pieces. So there's going to be some fruity bits in the giveaways. What I'll quickly do is I'll open the Guild of Harmony box so you can actually see the figures in the flesh, and then I got some painting to get on with as well for everyone that has turned up to watch the painting. Sorry, I will get there. I'm hoping so. I'm going to try my hardest. I've got nothing planned for tomorrow as yet. It had been kept for basically doing this sort of stuff. So here we go. I'll move this out the way. So this is Mary Poppins. So a little bit clean up. That looks actually, and a handbag. And I believe you get the option of 2 different sized umbrellas. There's definitely 2 umbrellas, unless one goes on the bottom or somewhere else. I don't know. Let's have a look at the miniature. Oh, it just goes on the top. So, yeah. That one goes on top of that. Cool. That is pretty cool. And the detail on it is pretty nice. There's a little bit of flash, but there it is. There was a little bit of flash here and there. With metal, it just falls off. And you get a base, which is pretty spot on. Let's have a look, see who else there is. Should we have a look for Dan? No, sorry, Ackroyd. There he is. So, yeah, he's a three-piece mini. So his hand goes on that, and then that's the ghost trappy bit that goes into the back of there to the gun, which is under his arm. So that does need a little bit more. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, we're starting to see quite a lot of them because we just started playing Infinity, and Infinity is majority of it metal. But as we said, these guys do it in both. So this is Oliver, but in the collector's edition, Now the collector's edition are all resin, and the quality does look, the quality on the resin looks immense. And I'm definitely going to be taking this one out to paint. Oliver was a sweet and innocent young lad, a simple pickpocket in Fagin's gang. The old man tinkering with the engine has led to the most disturbing change. The young boy has transformed into a raging beast, a nightmare of berserk power and fury that can only be difficult to control, or that can be difficult to control for even those who he dimly registers as allies. No, once you've got once you've got the primer on, it's done. It's a very Oliver Twisty Jekyll. Let's have it open. Don't tell anyone. This is meant for streams later on, because we've got other bits and pieces. I'm meant to be doing someone else's stream tonight. Berserk, unthinking, furious charge, plough through. So he's very Jekyll. Yeah. But again, this is the card artwork. Twisted by the machine. Oh, the engine, sorry. Yeah. It is nice. And the cards are decent quality as well. I will be getting them into sleeves so they don't get... Yeah. I don't think he'll be asking for a morsel of food. I think he'll be changing you into a morsel of food quite quickly. So like I said, this is just a sneak peek into what another thing that we've got coming along. The shield is cool, yeah. So there's things like the White Rabbit. There was loads. We spent a good couple of hours on the website, me and Foxy, just going, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh. Have you seen? Ooh, that's nice. So I've just thrown him all over the floor. I wonder if he's happy about that. Did pick that bit up. They're really nicely packaged as well until you drop them. Sorry. And the other thing, it feels almost as if they've cleaned the mould as well, or the release agent's not on it. So I do like that. I had this problem in the garage, didn't I? When we were looking through it earlier, I kept dropping... I opened one and kept dropping it all over the floor. There we go. That's fixed. Right. No, it's not fixed. It's keep popping off. Excellent. Right. You can go here. So, the plans for tonight. Back to the big screen. As you might have guessed, there was a hint at aliens in the one last look. Yeah, I didn't notice that many lines on these, which was quite nice. So we have been doing a bit of a partnership, or are doing a bit of a partnership with a company called Lv427. Now, they do some amazing terrain pieces, and they gave us the files to create basically a spaceship. So it's the interior of a spaceship. You can either, if you're feeling exuberant, glue them together into... Oh, there's another piece that goes there. That's where I had it. So you can be exuberant and glue it all together, or you can figure a way of magnetizing it, something like that. But on a table, they're going to be a cracking little setup for skirmishes and stuff like that. This was the one that I was looking at, so it does need a bit of a clean up because I sprayed it before realizing I hadn't cleaned it up. So these guys do 3D printed scenery files. There is a store in the UK that will print them for you. And considering the size of them, I didn't think the printing price was too bad either. So I'm going to give it a clean and snap a bit off. So I usually do this before priming it. I've just been a bit backward first today. So, a neat trick that someone told me, when you do have a lot of spidering, which is the webs and stuff like that from printing, is hairdryer, just quickly. As you can see, it melts them and they disappear. It doesn't need to be too hot. I will glue that back in place in a minute. So, if you can see, well, that definitely ain't for my hair, Mr. Craig. Where's the close-up? So, if you noticed in the corner there, that is definitely a Weyland-Yutani logo. So, we definitely think it is most definitely aimed at alien games and that sort of thing. We are in talks. We're trying to get sorted the starter sets for the new Aliens game. I'm possibly going to use them with this as well. I just thought, you're not far behind me. Just glue that back in place. So these all took about 7 or 8 hours each to do. By choice, yeah. Man's by choice. Insta-set. Someone's just messaged me. The twisted miniatures are 32mm scale. So just a quick fix back into place. We have used GW's lead belcher because I had a bit spare in a can to prime these ones. You can use any of your silvers that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be the expensive GW ones, especially on terrain. We tend to use whatever we've got laid around or the cheapest. Just clear up these bits. So it was printed on black. It uses no supports, so any of you that do print understand that that's absolutely brilliant, because one, there's no waste, and two, other than the stringy bits, which could have been down to the temperature of the room, there's little or no cleanup. So this has a big door to go in that I still need to print. The door slots straight down into the gap. So what we want to do is, I've got it quite bright. I'm definitely going to have a run through the airbrush to darken it up a bit and then do some dry brushing. So there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can just wash it with Nullin naturally. I I might still do that after I've done this, just to get some of the recesses and stuff like that. But I'm not going to concentrate on the outsides, because they'll be butting up against the other bits, and once I've done all of it, I can see which bits. There's no point in painting around the outside when I probably never use it. But getting it there we go. Turn that down a bit. So all I'm doing is slightly darkening it up. If you spend a little bit more time in the recesses, like where the shadows are going to be and stuff like that, you can skip some of the shading, but what I'm wanting is just a basic. We've got a basic silver down, so there's a light silver, and that will shine through the black because I'm not going too heavy with the black, with the wash. So you can see it's getting. The other thing with it as well, if you try to make, you could just coat it all over. If you just coat it all over, it's fine. Then you can just pick it up with the dry brush and stuff like that later. But if you do it patchy, like you can see on there, I've got dark bits, I've got light bits. It adds to the fact that it's been used. It's not just brand new. So, and then this is definitely the main walkway from outside the habitat. So Agrax. Again, washes through the airbrush are one of my favourites. So all I'm going to do is the panels that would be the main thoroughfare of people walking and the part of the panel, so you get that brown, and I've gone quite thick so some of it will leak and seep and stuff like that. But that gives you a slight difference between the black wash and the brown wash to give you gives the feel of a bit of walkway. What I'll do is I'll go back in with a brush as well and get some of that. So quite a big brush. I'm going to use my Broken Toad number 2, which is quite a decent size. And in fact, I'm going to use a messy one. So just squirting some of the wash into the palette, and then just fill in the gaps. Not all of them. You don't have to do all of them. It looks better if it's random splodgings, as it were. Once it dries randomly in patterns, you get some nice oil and grease effects. What the hell is that? Something on my brush. So can see that it looks splodged and used and stuff like that. So if you think you've got too much, bit of water, you can thin it, because I just think the top of that will get caught by boots or whatever walks across it. I will probably pick it back up with some dry brushing and bits and pieces like that. So again, I'm going to stick to this brush, and I'm going to change and get some of the colours sorted for I do have a red out somewhere. There we go. So this is just model colour flat red. I could do with some thinners as well. Just with our war paint thinners. And what I'm going for is I'm going to paint the barrels just red. Again, this doesn't have to, as long as you're not splashing it all over the walls. This can be quite it's dried enough, so quite rough and ready to just pick them up. And red barrels are always the best. It also adds a bit of colour. Most of this scenery and most of the look of Aliens and Predator are all on the ships is all dark and dingy and stuff like that, so it's all silvers and metals. Adding a bit of colour to it isn't a bad thing. And again, it's just it's not a good brush. It's one I use for washes, one I use for sometimes PVA, but it's one that at some point I've damaged and it's no longer good enough for proper painting of fine detail. So again, it's just a couple of bits like that. There's a some sort of stopcock there, so and there goes Martin again. Nope. And then a bit of colour on the ventilation. So they look like screens, so I'll probably do them in black. Add a screen on the door there. So if you do get any silver on it, it's just lead belcher. It's just the dark silver from GW Lead Belcher. So having some of that on tap to pick up any bits of red where I've caught it, because I did catch it. You can see it? Yep. Just down in there. So add a bit of red, add a bit of silver to cover it up. Let's have some black. Black. So far the palette consists of black, silver and red with a bit of brown wash. I don't think you're going to be able to see me paint. So I'm just going to quickly paint the screens in. So these have gone over the silver bits in the middle, but it is really easy to pick up the silver in between them. Try the same on these as well. I'm going to try and put some like green text or green squiggles on them, so they look like view screens. I think we'll do the same on them. If the view screens are the view screens, I'm not 100% certain. Have gone around the edges a bit too much, so quick rub of the cloth and the screens are done. Quickly put that bit off. The good thing with this is we can do one bit at a time. We actually bought, well, Lv427 Gaming basically said they gave us a £25 voucher to spend on whatever we wanted, but they said that probably the best bang for buck was the space station set, so we picked up that, and this is that set. And it's you get, I think it was 6 or 7 different designs, but you can if you're a printer, you can print each bit. You could do 10 of them and paint them all differently. I dare say you could knock some of the barrels off and repurpose bits and pieces, move the barrels around yourself. But there's a 2-part control room, so the other side of that sticks to there. There was a doorway, and then with the there's a freebie one that you can go and download and print. With that, you can then probably do quite a decent board if you want to mix and match. So I'm going to do a mix of silver. Yeah. And the red. Just to give the valve a bit of a look of importance. And then still got the metallics coming through, which is cool. There we go. Now, some of these are lights and buttons and switches. So, picking up some of them with the red. And then the brighter red. That's it. It's a piece of scenery, so if you want it on the table and want it on the table fast, then you can use a big brush. You can clean it up with dry brushing and anything like that, anything to make it fast. You imagine you've got a table with 20 of these on, 30 probably, to get a decent sized good table. If you're then doing tables for a shop and you're doing 10 tables, you don't want to be doing hundreds and hundreds of paint jobs that take 20 hours each. So like that was, we just splodged the black across, picked it back up with the silver. So I've got a bit of silver I need to clean there. And that goes back. So I'm starting to get the staining on the floor pan where it's drying. So just some random colours. Always. So this is light green, Vallejo. Model colour. So a light green. We've got a nice blue. Let's go. I think it's flat blue. I usually use flat blue. Green, blue, red. I don't think I'll get yellow to stick, so I might try it in a second. So some green buttons in the button bank. Thing is, it's 3D printed. It's always going to have layer lines in and stuff like that, so it's not going to be glassy detail. But by the time you've finished a couple of bits and pieces like this, the detail absolutely jumps out and it just looks good on a table. So a couple of bits of green, blues. If you wanted to make the buttons brighter and a little bit more time consuming, what you can do is dry brush them all to a bright silver, or dab each one of them with something like the chrome or something like that, and then go back round them with the clears. So you would put a clear blue over it, a clear red over it, a clear yellow over it. That would give you a really nice thank you, Catherine. It gives a really nice like a glowing button or an LED, because you get the metallic showing through still. So the yellow I used was just yellow ochre. It's quite a thick, good coverage paint. So you can see in there, I'm just randomly pressing the dots on the display. Do I have yellow or red? I think we'll have red for the second colour on this side. Open, locked, or so yeah. Let's have a big red button on here. Big green button over here. Right, what I need, I think, is flat green. Park green. So, there we go. That's really well thinned, too thinned. So all I'm doing is just bit random, like, squiggles of what the text would look like, or bits and pieces like that. That's it. These are the screens. The black is still slightly wet, so it's merging it slightly. just associate that. And then what you can do is the lighter green that I used on the buttons earlier, I can actually put dots on to lighten it up a bit as well. And oh, bit too much. The cat's going mental out there. You can see the screens, and then the green that I used earlier, which is a lot brighter. See, it can highlight stuff like. It gets brighter. But the backing of the darker green gives it the basis that it needs. There we go. So some screens done. And super fine detail. I'm just going to use the light green for this one because I think I've only got one. Yeah, just one pass up there. The two little mini screens on that. We're filling in for Raster. He's away at the moment, so we said we'd cover his night. So someone's on Raster's channel because when we're offline, we share each other's streams. So it's been a bit of an impromptu one. We didn't expect to do it. Nannybot was going to do it, but he's been called into work. So we're just doing a bit of the scenery work for its Lv427's scenery. They do a few bits like this, but this is the set they've donated a full set for us to paint up, or print and paint up. So we're just doing, like the usual things, we're doing quick, easy, boom, 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 and it's done. So we're now at the point where the wash is, excuse me, the wash is practically dry. And I'll get some of the dry brush. So, more to do. And the other thing is, I'm trying to keep the dry brush to the top half of it. Any of the bottom, I don't mind being a bit darker. I don't know if you can see it. It is starting to pick it up. So, just very light down the bottom. The wheel and Utari symbol. There we go. Excuse me. So a bit more dry brush. I'm just using Necron Compound, by the way. I'm not cleaning that much off the brush as well, because it's a fairly heavy dry brush. Hello, X-Wing Tavern Wars. So again, just picking up the edges to about 3/4 of the way down. So now the bit that I want to do is where I take off as much as I can, because I want to get some of this with the silver. You see it? But I don't want it all. Again, it's just where it's metal grating. There will be muck on it. There will be dirt and grime. So you've got patchwork there. A bit less down either side, because the thoroughfare of it is down the centre. So I'm hoping the red's dry. If not, I'm about to find out. So at the moment we've got the silver base coat, which was just lead belcher through the can. We did an all over airbrush wash, or you could do a normal wash. There's not any and then we've just done a quick dry brush on the metal. We've got some red on it, so there is definitely still wet paint there. So these are outside technically, so I'm going to brush them up a little bit. So just a quick way of doing the rust, I'm going to use Riser Rust, which is GW's. Technical, it's just like a dry brush paint. So the way I'll do it first is, because I want these quite rusty, that's a bit too much. There we go. So round where that shouldn't have been red. Where did the red come from? Down there. So it's got red on the dry brush, so silver on the dry brush to counteract it. Tesseract. Everyone wants me to use that Tesseract. Well, yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. So we've got the barrels. They've had a... If I go full hog on it, I'm going to have to put the other stuff down first. And if I can't find... Oh, it's there. So I'm going to put some typhus corrosion down first. 4 drops of that. Then look for a very old brush, because it kills brushes. So these have been here a while, and I'm trying to keep the rusting effect to as much to outdoors as possible. That's not too bad. So it's over here. The problem with this Tesseract green, it takes so long to mix up. Hey. I knew there was rattlers in there. That's right, it doesn't have to take a bit of shaking. Look, empty pot. Oh, I can see through my head. Right, where is... I'm going to use... So we have Nurgle's Rot as well, so I'm going to use a bit of everything. Give it a bit of a mix up. Excuse me. So, splodgy brush. Put it up underneath a bit, because this goes shiny, and then if I put the other stuff over the top of it, how does that look? I'm actually going to use the Tesseract glow for something else. Because I think changing that from that might spoil it a bit. I'm going to put the rust around the bottom once that's dried, but What's the saying? If it bleeds, we can kill it. Did say it was Alien versus Predator. It is. That will dry a little bit duller than it is. And you could either go in again and do a bit more if you wanted, or if you wanted it a little bit understated, as it were, you could leave it like that. So as you say, that is about an hour's work. You can do more to it. You can do, technically, you could do less to it. But if you had 20 of them printed, you could probably do a whole set and have it looking pretty good within a day or so. Let's just get some of these. I should have cleaned some of these up a bit better. So we're also going to do some videos on how to do them quickly, how to get your game board done relatively fast. So we'll be picking different methods, and we'll be working out other bits and pieces for it. There was a brush definitely went flying under there somewhere. God, Bermuda Triangle under my desk. As I said, this is the actual entrance, and there is a big doorway to go into it yet. The doorway opens and closes, so it's a couple of cool bits. The monitors have... Good evening, Kay. And no dismembered rookies. Yeah. So that we did. I don't know if I can get to it. There it is. Behind my secret curtain of. Oh, there's the door. I just haven't primed it yet. So the doors come in two parts, so you can actually see through them as well. I don't know if you can see. But that's the door to go in. It's not being painted, and as I say, you print them flat to the bed, and then cool, mate. So yeah, you basically, I'll quickly do it now so I can show you, because there's two bits. Where did I put my glue? It fell over. It's a splurge of super glue. Tesseract green. I am starting to think that way, Tomo. There you go. A quick super glue like that, and it's done. And one dot. Does need it will need fully painting, because that's just the straight out of the printer. So yeah, the door is good. So as I say, that's what it looks like to start with. I think this is the free one that you can get. But just a quick 2-minute, well, 60-minute paint job gets it from just plain silver to just something with a bit of character. It doesn't have to be massively perfect. You don't have to have each individual bit of text on there. It's a piece of scenery. Your miniatures are going to pass through it, shoot something, and probably come back out the other end and not even realise that there was a green button on the wall for half of it. So yeah, if I was doing it, I would continue that and then dissipate it around here, so it would end in amongst the pile. and then you've got to decide where it went. Yeah, it just gives it a bit of character. As I say, it's you've just seen me do it, so it's not rocket science. It must be easy for most people. So that's my first bit done. I'm going to be doing enough to be doing a board of it when I get some MDF. When I get some plywood. I'm going to put a plywood base down and start some of these. And it's just going to be a little mini skirmish board for things like Kill Team, or if you want to play AVP. I've managed to pick up some more AVP goodies. Someone asked to trade them in, so I've got Predators and some Aliens in there. I do still have a board until you get bored of it. Hey, hiya Kinger. So yes, I've picked up a couple of bits of AVP. I do have the core set kicking about that I showed you a couple of weeks back. So hopefully my whole plan is to have a full AVP board with this in preparation for the new game coming. So hopefully we'll be getting some more done. As I say, I want to do a video of how to do one from start to finish quickly. I think that might have to be things like a couple of the same one, because obviously this has took quite a while for the washers to dry, and where I want to do the rust still isn't perfect. Let's see if I can get some of it down now without spoiling it. So again, it's just, did I say hi, Kinger? Sorry if I didn't. It's good to see you, mate. Yeah, it's still got dampness on it. So there you go. You can see the orange in there. I did get some. Yeah, we've previewed a new game that we're going to be I can't say pushing, but we're going to be working with the guys and doing some we've got some preview bits to do, and I'm going to be doing some painting of their stuff. I've got a lot of bits and pieces that I need to catch up on, all in time for the 24-hour stream in exactly a month. There you go. There's rust patches now. You can go as far or as little as you want with the rust. That will, as the way the paint works, when it dries, it goes and dissipates a bit. So when I do the door, so that when the door fits there, this area here will have rust on it. So the rust will build up round where all of this was, just to give the effect that it's been here a while. Some of it's aluminium, some of it's steel. Taking it, the actual station itself is steel. It's got whatever acidy stuff leaking out of the barrels, but I can just get the area picked up with there we go. And a bit more over here. There you go. So rust and alien blood. So that's basically dry here now. So you can see how it has settled slightly. It's not as vibrant as it is there where I put it quite thick. So again, it's just a quick one. if I was wanting one where it's super detailed for something, maybe it's like a display board or something like that, then I would be printing on a lot higher quality. I'd probably be taking it quite easily up to a 20-30 hour print, and then doing it from that. And that, I think, looks cool. I'm happy with it. For obviously I've got these two to do already, but I think we've already printed over 10. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'll quickly show you the ones. Yeah, it's not really needed. So we've got the one that I believe this is the free one. As I said, it's the one with the barrels on, and I've done a couple of them, so I think it's the free one that you could use this for Halo. This would work. So yeah, we've got the crossroads, the barricaded crossroads. There is a plain crossroads with nothing there, so bit of open fight. You can get some good line of sight shooting through it. There is the second half to this one, so there's like a computer center. So there's 2 halves to one bit. For some reason, I've printed 3 left-hand sides, so I need to print 2 more rights. But they're a good one to end a corridor sort of thing. So that's actually pretty good to have them ones as options. There's then a storage room, which has more drums to leak out, tires, crates, laptop in the alcove. But again, you've got a good place to get. Again, I haven't got any figures small enough to go in there. That's to do. So you get some cover behind the barrel. And your 25mm kill team figure can fit nicely in there. Another cross sections. This one has a big computer in one of the corners. So I think there's 6 different designs. Yeah, there's another one of the. There's another one with the corridors with the small computers. So there's a slight difference between the 2 corridors. As you can see that. One's got a large computer and one's got a small, whatever it is, small machinery, large machinery in the corners. So yeah, a couple of them ones. Then there's what looks like a supply depot, or a supply room, storage facility with is it bunks? They're actually bunks. Sorry. Yeah, bunks and a bookcase in the back of the bunk. I want to say 8, but in second thoughts, I'm probably round about 12. We did have it on a fairly fast setting, so you'll probably see that you've got a double line where it looks a bit messed up, and some down here. The faster you do it, sometimes the filament doesn't, so that it goes quite. Oops, sorry, there. The filament doesn't come out quick enough, and you get. Feels like a bit honeycomby. If you squash it, you can break it. But this, other than that, is pretty solid. So I'm probably about 12 hours each. I normally put them on a night when I go to bed and get up on a morning and they're done. And I think that may be a med lab. A couple of laptops, 2 beds. So I'm thinking med lab type thing. I've got no problem. I only run enders, and that's the doors basically. When you push two of these together, they do create the slot that the other one had on its own, so that has the door slot. Yeah. I've got the Ender 5. The only reason I didn't go for the Ender 3 was I wanted a cage. I wanted something like sturdy with a cage around it, and I got Ender 5s instead. The company I was buying them off basically said I could have the Ender 5s for the same price as the Ender 3s. So I bought, at the time I bought Fort ones sort of thing. I'll do that while I'm stood. Super glue. But I did mention that they've been really, 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 really good and really, really good workhorses. I said to Sonoy the other day, I said they've been absolutely fantastic, and I've learnt so much in the 3 or 4 months that I've had them. And then it came up on my YouTube, on my Facebook feed. For when I got the first one, it was a year. Well, it's over a year now, but it was a year ago. I was like, "Oh, I've had these a year." So that's 4 of them, and I've run them pretty much non-stop. And other than maintenance bits, the tube that goes across the top, the nozzles when they get jammed when I use cheap filament, and one heat head split. I think again that was down to a filament blockage issue, so that's them. They need painting. Touch wood, I've had nothing major go wrong with them. Leveling, when we got them, we put the glass beds on them. We put the metal extruder on them, and basically turned them into what was the Pro at the time. So it wasn't much of a money upgrade, but I think we skipped a lot of the problems that people had and people complain about. Bed leveling is really easy with these. You're not relying on the computers to do it. It's all manual, and I'm probably a very manual person, and I like that better. I had another one that we tried, and that did it at the start of every print, and didn't like it. It had issues. Just quickly see if we've had any messages across the board. Cool. So, what time is it? Yeah, still got a bit of time left. While you're here, I'm going to quickly finish some of the basing work on these fellas. I don't know if anyone was around. Right, yeah, I've seen them. The Enders are just clones. They're clones of the Persia, one of the Persias. They are Lv427. The company's, if you just do a search for Lv427 terrain, they sell the STL files. There is a UK distributor. 27. Is it 427? Have I got it right? Yes, Lv427 Designs. There we go. He says not being able to do it. They have a sale on at the moment. That is 25% sale on some of them. So the STL for one of these is round about the range from 3 to 12 depending on the size. So this size I think about 3 or 4 quid each. But there's a company in the UK. Are you from the UK? Print partners. United Kingdom. There's print partners in the UK, Spain and America who will print them out for you. They offered it to us. Yeah, okay, Lv427. The guys there are absolutely brilliant. And if I find it, their first one, Corridor Last Stand, which was the one that I posted. So that one they do for free. So you can download it and give it a try, see what you think of it quality wise, give it a couple of test prints. If you like it, then I would recommend, I'll see if I can find the one we got. The individuals are like £3 each, but if you look for the sets, yeah, they've got a couple of print partners. They're really good. Secured storage. They did offer it to us. We were going to do it, but with what we do at the moment, we have got so much on space. And Lee learns to spell today. Space station. So the space station one that we bought, or that they give us the credit for, is this one. Basically, this gives you airlock and entrance, which is the one that we've just painted, four-way corridor, a four-way industrial corridor, four-way standard corridor, small bed med bay, the 2-bed ones, small storage, crew quarters, operations control room, which is the 2-part, all doors, chairs and joiners. And it, I dare say, with a bit of playing around and going, right, this is the free one, I'll print 2 of them, make a corridor, use some of the normal corridors between them, you could print pretty much a good table for the $25 option. But you'll be pretty much like me and go, oh, that detention cell looks nice. You know what? Having the detention cell gives it a bit of a... One part of your board's going to have an open area where there's going to be a good bit to shoot along, or some sort of ranged. Large office area is all open plan. Just with dividing, like normal dividing walls. I don't know why that one is 0. Doesn't show the price of that one. There's a large large dance club, cafeteria, industrial reactor set, large Viper's Den, which looks like a bar, like a cantina bar. The cantina bar one, he's done. That looks. There's a painted version. It looks like he's painted it all white and then done all of these black, so it looks like a first order. It really does look like a first order bar. And the Wayland Yutani symbols in yellow, which I might go back and do mine in yellow. So there's a good few bits. There's a dancing pole. You can have a sci-fi dance pole. This is Star Wars, Star Trek, Infinity, Space Hulk, Firefly, Terminator, Batman, and Alien games using this system. Yes, the cryo sleep chamber was one I looked at because I fancied doing that with the part with resin. Also, if there's the alien circular den that looked really good, I could have used all of the gloop. But hope that helps. And it's nice to have someone on from all the way over Canada. Cool. So, back to the basing of this fella. I'm going to use my usual dark sea grey. I'm running out of space on my... I'm going to use a big brush from GW, because that's just a basing brush. I said this is just the sea grey. We've painted it. This is rocks by Gamer's Grass. Some of their resin rocks to give it a bit of a less flat feel. Some people like the clear bases on these. I couldn't. I've got my two monkeys on clear bases, and I think I'm going to definitely redo them on this after looking how it actually turns out. So, same like we did on the thing. I'm going to get the basing done. Once the basing's done, then I'm going to hit it with some of the Tesseract for places where it's dripped, and it is a big oozy monster, so it's not just going to be clean around where it's walked. Rocks done. The rocks are really nice. It'll be great with a wash and a dry brush. I think we'll get some quite nice effect. Ooh. Glovicus has got grey on his hand now. Cool. I forgot to mention as well, the board that we're doing this for is going to be a 3x3. So one of the other ideas for it is going to be for the skirmish set for Legion. So it's a bit of a crossover, but I think it'll look pretty good. Bit like the starting seam on the Tantive. Could do one all in white, and the bases, the 27mm bases, do actually fit it really nicely. I think it's designed for the old Imperial Guard. I think that's what he was using. Yeah, it would. I would probably cheat, you know, Kinger. I'd print it in white, so the filament is actually white, the plastic, and then the white primer over that doesn't have much of a job to hide it, sort of thing. So yeah, it gives me an idea, because I've got a roll that's half used of white that I need to use up before it gets too damp. That's a good point. I was meant to have 20 rolls of filament turn up today that didn't turn up. I was too excited about the twisted turning up. A little bit of thinners just to get it into the gaps down underneath him. So we'll go back around and touch this up with the green, because I want to put green down as drippings. I'm just adding a bit of thinners because it's under here, it's not spreading that well, so probably means I won't get it done tonight properly, but at least we get the next coat onto it. I could probably do the buildings while we're... I've just had the cloth. There it is. So yeah, let's have a quick look. Or even cover a lot of it up with snow effects and have Hoth tunnels. Ignore the colours of this. This is a test piece. So yeah, you could basically shoot down the corridors. Imagine having to get down a long corridor full of them with that shooting you at the end. For anyone that hasn't seen Hoth and called it, oh wow! If anyone hasn't seen, that's my test piece for doing colour tests. That silver is absolutely phenomenal. If anyone didn't see the silver test, that chrome is utter ridiculous. It's mirrorist mirror. It's Stuart Semple's mirror. It's not cheap, and that test probably cost me a tenner in what it is, but that's the bottle of it. 15 millilitres. And that's it in the pot. Yeah, oh, trust it to be you. I'm watching you. Yeah, it does look. The other side of it, it was probably cheaper to get cologne. That mirror was £30 for the bottle. It is, but that's. You can just see how shiny that is. I want to put some colours over, like reds and stuff, clear reds, to see how that actually goes. So many things to do and not enough time. I'd allow a tiger to go down it. I like tigers. Yes, in hand it looks like that, Tomo. But when you paint it on something that is flat and nicely flat, it really does pop and give a proper mirror effect. So, do I do it in that grey and then wash it to get the building? Yeah. So I'm just going to use the same sea grey to do the buildings. Yeah, to do the windows. Not to do the windows, to do the buildings in amongst them all. I know what I mean. So how is Quiet Joe? Are you on tonight, mate? And I'll jump over afterwards. So it's just a fairly wet grey that we're doing on it. No answer from Martin. I'll find out in a bit. Thinking about it, it will be the same grey because it's basically the rubble from what this is. There is, oh, we need to be careful. There's, if you look at it closely, there's bits of glob coming out of the So remind me not just to turn the stream off, check if Martin's streaming and I'll throw you at him. So I'll get the brickwork done and then I'll call it a day after that. So there's a couple of bricks down there. There's definitely brickwork in amongst that. See, again, with this Tesseract glow, I can go back over any of the bits and give it sudden and massive amounts of life with just a couple of coatings. So again, he's got rocks where he's come up, always hiding. There you go. I've got other plans for his face. And the other version of him has huge amounts more. He's got a truck down there. He's got what I believe is a whole ball of rock, which I need to paint. Cooling tower, some sort of observatory, and again the building that we've just painted. again, this is more of a technique paint job than an actual detailed paint job. It's just various techniques, dry brushes, using the contrasty, the almost contrasty type paint to get the green. The building's going to have a wash over it once the grey dries. The base is a technical paint by GW. And it's just going to have, there's no massive amount of detail, it's just paint by numbers really, and then knowing what to do once you've done the block colours. So I'll probably go back in and merge some of the grey back into Tesseract. And again, it is an old brush. It's one that I've already made the mistake of messing up, so before anyone shouts. No. The way I will do each individual window is with a wash, and the wash will fill all the windows nicely. Just cheating slightly. That's goop. See, the thing, I'm not going to be able to get all of the grey perfect and in all of the places that I need to, so getting as best as I can, and then obviously a nulling wash over it will bring it all in together. And then if I need to, the bits of goop I can then get back with Tesseract again. But Tesseract is a great glowy colour. It's probably one of the best ones that they've done. I've saved a lot of work on this model. So, cooling tower. Just like that. And in the chimney pot. I'd love to do a Legion army in Tesseract. Bright glowing stormtroopers. Bright glowing droids. That is a lump of rock. Or a lot of lumps of rock. So it's, I think the way this looks is the rock's all going to have goo and ooze all over it anyway, because he's picked it up in a ball of goo and ooze. White claw mat. How about just Tesseract clone troopers? At least your opponent could never say they didn't see them. Excuse me. Right. That bit. So there's a lot. I've only just realised that half of the base around his feet is just rocks mushed into the glue. So this sort of stuff isn't too much of a problem getting it all. There's a car there. Do it in grey for now and pick the colours up later. And a truck. There's a school bus. School bus. You're going to be yellow. And nearly there. There's a couple more. Oh, there's loads of rocks I keep missing. A bit there. Oh. I think that looks pretty much rocky. God, probably one of the biggest right on the front. So I think I'll do a thin down coat of Tesseract over a lot of it. Probably find another 100 rocks between now and just spinning it around in circles. Right, so that's Globicus and his shorter form. Nice little oh yeah, the traffic light. Or is it a lamppost? Could be either. Mini-me. Yeah, the mini-me. There we go. Just, there was some green showing through. So, it's starting to look pretty good. I'm going to put some pictures up tonight of bits and pieces that we've done on the stream. What have we done tonight? Oh, the scenery bit. So, I'll put some glasses on so I can read while I do this bit. I'm going to try and do a raid onto someone's channel for yous. Don't know if it's going to work well. Thank you, Dual Shock, for the sub. I missed that earlier. I am very sorry. And we got the Hyper Crate. Cool. So, with some luck, we will be able to do a raid on the channel. They are live. So, before I throw you all at them and give them the shock of their life, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you for any of the subs and donations that you've done, the likes, anything like that. If you get a chance, please head over to our YouTube channel and like some of the videos on there. It really helps. If you could subscribe on our YouTube channel, it's an absolute massive help for us at the moment, especially with the charity stream coming up. We want it on there as well, so we need to build up a bit. So that would be absolutely great. So I'm going to start a raid over onto Doom Fairies, who is playing... Can't see what game they're playing because it's all blurry, but they'll be playing a retro game, so I hope you enjoy that. And I will click Start Raid. People are ready to raid. And thank you all for going over and raiding them. It gives them a little bit of a boost as well. So good night everyone. I will be back tomorrow night, so we'll have the giveaway and stuff like that, and it's our last one of the month, so it might be something special. Catch us all soon. It's our last one of the month, special, might be something special. Catch us all soon. Catch us all soon. It's our last one of the month, special, might be something special. Catch us all soon. Catch us all soon. Catch us all soon. It's our last one of the month, special, might be something special. Catch us all soon. Catch us all soon. Catch us all soon.